Paige Bueckers, she ain't gonna be Caitlin Clark. Not now, not today, not ever. Sorry, it ain't gonna happen.
Why hasn't Middle America given Paige Bueckers the Caitlin Clark treatment?
Well, the ratings are out. How much Paige Bueckers is moving the needle?
Paige Bueckers is grabbing headlines again, but not because of her play on the court. No, it is because she is apparently fed up with not being treated like Caitlin Clark. That is right. Bueckers seems to believe she deserves the same fame, the same spotlight, the same thunderous applause. But let us cut through the noise. She is not Caitlin Clark. And let us be real, she is never going to be. Paige is stepping into the WNBA expecting to be greeted with fireworks and sold-out stadiums like it is some kind of coronation. But what she is finding instead is silence. The crowds aren't showing up in droves. The endorsement deals not falling into her lap. Why? Because unlike Caitlin, she hasn't earned that kind of attention, at least not with her numbers, her performance, or her influence on the game. In this video, we are unpacking exactly why Paige Bueckers isn't Caitlin Clark and why she never will be, no matter how hard the media tries to spin it. If you are riding with Caitlin, drop a CC all the way in the comments because we are about to get into it. While Caitlin Clark has been out here smashing records, dominating headlines, and transforming the game, Paige has mostly been out here giving interviews and playing the victim role. And now she is acting entitled to the same respect that Clark gets. The same Clark who revived women's basketball and made it must-see TV. It is not just tone deaf, it is flat out disrespectful. Let us start with the facts. Caitlin Clark isn't just great, she is transcendent. This isn't your average superstar. This is a once-in-a-generation player. She is not only the NCAA's all-time leading scorer, but she is also the only basketball player in history, male or female, to post multiple 40-point triple-doubles in college. Her stat line, ridiculous. She drops 30 like it is a warm-up, dishes out more than 8 assists a game, and can launch a logo 3 or thread a no-look dime with the precision of a Hall of Famer. Caitlin is rewriting the script while everyone else is still flipping through the table of content. She had a hot start in college, no doubt. That freshman season was promising, but since then, it has been a roller coaster, plagued by injuries, long gaps in play, and inconsistent performances. She hasn't cracked that elite 20-plus point average on a consistent basis, and her assists just okay. Meanwhile, Caitlin has been dragging an entire program into national contention, game after game, and when it comes to crunch time, the final minutes, the pressure moments, that is when Clark takes over. Paige? She tends to fade, but we are supposed to pretend they deserve equal billing. Let's not. Now let us talk hits the court. The world pays attention. Her games broke viewership records, topping NBA games on the same nights. Every major network screen means eyeball. She turned the WNBA draft into a television spectacle, drew record crowds, and exploded ticket resale prices just by showing up. When she plays, seats fill. Hashtags trend, and highlight clips rack up millions of views. This isn't just hype, it is dominant. Meanwhile, Paige Bueckers got the full ESPN hype machine heading into the 2025 WNBA draft. But when the numbers came in, total flop. Her draft drew just half the viewership Caitlin pulled the year before. Half. That is not a coincidence. It is proof that viewers aren't buying what the media is pushing. They are here for Caitlin, period. Let us be honest, this isn't about who posts the best workout selfies or who delivers the most heartfelt press conference. This is about real-world results, on-court performance, and fan interest. Caitlin Clark doesn't need a curated PR campaign. Her stats do the talking. She is the name people chant, the face fans drive hours to see. She doesn't chase the spotlight. She is the spotlight. So when Paige steps in expecting Caitlin's treatment, the answer is simple. You don't get Caitlin-level fame just for showing up. You get it by dominating. And right now, the word dominance has one name next to it, Caitlin Clark. Let us not kid ourselves. The media is bending over backward trying to manufacture a rivalry, trying to prop up Paige as the next face of women's basketball. ESPN, sports anchors, social media commentators, they are all pushing this narrative not because Paige has earned it, but because they are low-key panicking that a white girl from Iowa with zero interest in virtue signaling just took over the sport. Caitlyn came into the WNBA with more than hype. She had receipts, record-breaking college performances, sold-out arenas, and endorsement deals from Nike and State Farm before she even stepped on a professional court. And you know what she did to earn it? She hooped. That is it. She didn't climb social ladders. She didn't use identity to. And how was she welcomed? Not with parades, but with elbows, hate tweets, and hot takes. She has been fouled hard, mocked on TV, and dragged in the press by players and pundits alike. Because she refuses to play the media's game, because her presence alone is a disruption to the agenda. Now Paige wants that treatment, without the pressure, without the performance, without the grind. There is a growing push in the media to present Paige Bueckers as the right version of Caitlin Clark, whatever that even means. They are framing her as the polished, media-friendly, socially approved alternative to the woman who actually revolutionized the game. But let us be honest, Paige hasn't even consistently been the best player on her own roster. Her loudest moments haven't come from buzzer beaters or career-defining performances, but from carefully curated sound bites and symbolic gestures. Meanwhile, her game on the court, much quieter, yet the media eats it up because it fits the narrative they want to promote. It is a convenient counter to the disruptor they didn't ask for, Caitlin Clark. This isn't something built organically by competition or fan debate. It has been sculpted in editorial rooms and podcast talking points. The establishment media, the ones who were sidelined as Caitlin Clark took the spotlight on her own terms, are desperate to rewrite the script. They didn't discover Clark, they didn't mold her, and they certainly didn't give her permission to dominate. That is what makes them so uncomfortable. So instead, they try to balance the scales by overhyping Paige, but even that effort is starting to fall flat. Let us talk excuses. You will hear pundits say Paige had the better career on paper, conveniently skipping over the fact that she has spent much of her college tenure watching from the bench due to injury while Clark was out rewriting the record books. They will throw around efficiency stats, arguing that Paige is more polished, but they never mention the raw, overwhelming output Clark has delivered in terms of points, assists, and influence. Let us also not ignore the context. While Caitlyn has been targeted on the court, frozen out by teammates, elbowed in the face, and publicly questioned by veterans, Paige hasn't had to face a fraction of that hostility. She plays it safe, socially, and on the court, and that is exactly why she is media-approved. But here is the problem. Safe doesn't sell. No amount of speeches, social media campaigns, or friendly media coverage can artificially create the kind of magnetic impact Caitlin Clark brings. Greatness can't be manufactured in a press release. The media's attempt to prop up Paige Bueckers as Clark's equal, or worse, her replacement, has only highlighted how massive the gap between them really is. Numbers don't lie. Presence doesn't lie. Fans see it. They feel it. It is not even close. They went the extra mile just to watch her play here. Tisa, let us look at the raw data. When Caitlin Clark declared for the WNBA draft in 2024, she didn't just show up, she turned it into a national event. Over 2.5 million people tuned in, and viewership peaked at more than 3 million. It wasn't just a draft, it was a cultural moment. It was history. It was the beginning of a new era. Flash forward to 2025 when Paige Bueckers entered the draft. Despite all the pre-draft hype and media saturation, viewership tanked. Just over 1.2 million watched. That is not a minor dip. That is a cliff dive. And no matter how ESPN tried to spin it, the audience knew exactly what they were watching. A draft without Caitlin Clark simply doesn't hit the same TO. When Clark is on the schedule, arenas fill to the brim, tickets resell for hundreds, sometimes even thousands. The Indiana Fever saw a nearly 90% bump in road attendance and a 265% increase in home attendance from the previous year. Clark didn't just boost interest, she created demand. A once sleepy WNBA schedule suddenly became the hottest ticket in town. Her presence moved people physically and emotionally, drawing fans from every demographic imaginable. Compare that to Paige. The crowds aren't rushing to see her play. Her games aren't leading broadcasts. Ticket prices aren't spiking. Paige's arrival didn't shift the league. It barely nudged it. And that is the difference. You can't force fans to care with media pressure and curated narratives. They care when they are inspired. And right now, the inspiration has one name, Caitlin Clark. Now let us talk social media and branding. Clark dominates every platform: TikTok, Instagram, X, YouTube. Her clips rack up millions of views. Her crossover highlights, no-look dimes, and logo threes trend weekly. She is a walking viral moment. Naturally, brands took notice. Gatorade, Nike, State Farm. They all lined up. NIL records shattered. Caitlin Clark isn't just a basketball player. She is a cultural force. Paige, she has a few sponsorships, sure, but nothing that compares. And that is not personal. It is business. Companies invest where the attention goes, and Clark is a walking headline. And then there are the numbers that can't be spun. Clark isn't just in the record books. She is rewriting them. NCAA's all-time leading scorer, multiple 40-point triple-doubles, leading the nation in both points and assists. The first to combine volume with leadership and consistency at every level of the game. Paige, while undeniably skilled, is a player built on promise, not proof. And in professional sports, promise doesn't get contracts signed, proof does. And yes, let us address the injury argument. It is valid. Health affects any career, but availability is a cornerstone of greatness. Caitlin Clark has shown up night after night, year after year, and delivered performances that altered the course of the sport. Paige, through no fault of her own, hasn't, and that absence is felt. So let us stop pretending. The scoreboard, the broadcast booths, the arenas, and the fan base all speak the truth Paige's team doesn't want to admit. Caitlin Clark is the standard. Paige is not in the same tier. She can't match the buzz. She can't match the numbers. And no amount of PR campaigns will change that. Caitlin didn't need ESPN to build her. She didn't rely on culture wars or speeches. She let her game speak, and the world stopped to listen. While Clark packed arenas and made history, Paige is still struggling to break through Clark's shadow, hoping hashtags and hot takes will elevate her stature. But fans, they don't follow slogans. They follow greatness. So if you are still pushing the Paige Bueckers fairy tale, it is time to put the book down. This rivalry doesn't exist, and the comparison was never real. Caitlin Clark isn't just ahead, she is. And while the media scrambles to keep up, history is already etching her name in the record books. One logo three at a time. If you are riding with Caitlin, if you are done with the spin, and if you know exactly who changed the game, drop a CC all the way in the comment. Because let us be honest, there is only one face of women's basketball right now, and her name is Caitlin Clark. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.